Welcome to our channel, $1 Million Made Easy. On this channel, we create spreadsheets to help you see your numbers going forward. What do we use for returns? We use actual historical returns to the S&P 500 for the last 100 years, which includes bad decades like the Depression type years. And we simply project ahead what similar returns might do for you in the future. And the resulting numbers are simply a possible range of what may happen in the future. They're just going to be ballpark figures, just to give you a rough idea. Folks, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a numbers guy. I've created all kinds of different spreadsheets. I can't really separate them out, so I know people are asking me for these spreadsheets, but this channel is built on so many of them, I can't just give out one of them. In the accumulation stage, that's what we're going to look at in this video. The beginning, somebody's going to give me their beginning balance, their monthly contribution, and how long they want me to run it for. I've got an interesting request here. Individual says they are 39 years old and they have $130,000 saved up right now. And they want to know if they add 3,000 to 4,000 per month, if they could possibly take an early retirement. So we're just going to go ahead and run the numbers. Here's 130,000 beginning balance. Here's the monthly contribution. And I'm going to run the numbers for him just to show him where he might be in these different time periods. I picked from 15 to 25 years, which would be from 39, let's see, from age 54 to age 64. So we're just going to look at these periods, and I'm going to show you a few things that might be really interesting to you. Right now, we got the 15-year graph showing. And if we run the numbers for 15 years, again, using returns for the last 100 years, right now we got the 1924 graph showing. Whatever year I pick here, it's going to change the graph accordingly. But I want to point out some different things from this graph right here. But first of all, I want to show you over a 15-year period, over the last 100 years, you would have put in 670,000. There's actually a time where you would have only had 777,000 to show for it after 15 years, which is actually 1927. You can see that right there. These are the 1927 numbers going down through here. After 15 years, remember there's three down, you'd see 3 down years here after all these. You'd have 777,000, but that's the worst case scenario in the last 100 years. The median in this column, let's go back to 1924 because I do want to point this something out here. The median in this column will be 1.746 and the maximum will be 4.214. Remember what we said? We're going to give you a possible range. So that's the range we're talking about. Again, he's 39 years old. He has this much saved. He wants to see what 3,000 and 4,000 a month would do. I just want to point out a couple other things here. We always need to realize these numbers that we see here are not going to have the same buying power in these time periods. In 15 years, this amount right here, again, this is the worst case scenario, 1927 type numbers, have the buying power of 500, basically 500,000. What I've taken the liberty to do is if you have a 4.5% withdrawal rate, that would be equivalent of 1,872 a month coming in. If you had this amount, again, that's the worst case scenario. I want to show you something from the graph here. This is the 15-year graph. Look what's all these down years you're getting hit with. So you're going up like this, and then you hit these down years. Going up like this, then you hit these down years. But watch what happens as this graph changes as we go out. 17 years, still got the down. 19 years, 21 years. Do you notice something starting to change? Yes, there were some down years, but eventually it takes off, which inevitably, no matter what year I pick, if you take it out there 30, 35, 40 years, you're going to see these kind of graphs. And I'm only taking out 25 years. Look how those down years didn't make that much difference if you're in it for the long term. We'd love to see a graph just going from here up to here. But look how it got there. It was a bumpy ride, but look where it ultimately ended up with after 25 years. Worst case scenario would be 1927. We'll use that numbers right there. See how it went down again, but look where it ended up, folks. After 25 years, ended up $4.625 million. So that was the worst case scenario in this year was 3,160. Looks like that's 1924 numbers. Again, we're changing from the 15-year to the 25-year. Look at the difference. So the worst case scenario between the 15-year period and the 25-year period It's 4 times as much. It's 3.164 million. This is the graph, the 3.164. It was a bumpy ride getting there, but look where it ended up. If you can just be in it for the long term, look at the kind of money you can have after 25 years. And again, this is the worst case scenario, folks. The median in this column after 25 years. Again, he's 39 years old. If he waits till he's 64, look at the kind of numbers he'd have going down through here, folks. Just incredible numbers. The median in this column is 5.794. And there's actually a year in there, you have 18 million. You can see some double digits here, 10 million, 10 million, 11 million going down through here. What would the buying power of this 3 million be in 25 years? 1.511 million. That would have a monthly amount of 5,666 coming in. Folks, this is the worst case scenario. What I'm going to do is use the median numbers here. Just to show you what we knew in this channel. Change this to 2. Now we got 5.794. The median is median amount buying power after 25 years of this 5.794 would be 2.767 with a 4.5% withdrawal rate, which is recommended around the 4% rule. You could have 10,378 coming in buying power with these kind of numbers. We've just been looking at the 15 up to the 25 year. Here's the 15-year numbers again. In that case, if we took the median of this column, the buying power of this 1.12 million would be 4,202 a month. And you can go see these numbers increasing by quite a bit as we go down through here. 21 years into it, when he's age 60, worst case scenario is 1.918 million. The median is 3.769 with a buying power of 2 million, which would bring in 7,000, almost 7,600 a month in living expenses 21 years from now. And here's the 25 year. I realize I threw a lot at you. I try to do a lot in these spreadsheets to give you all kinds of different information. But that was just 3,000 a month. Let's just go to 4,000 a month here real quick. I'm going to update this. You can see the numbers went up just that much more. The worst case scenario, 15 years, basically a million. The monthly amount coming in, taking into account inflation, be 5,000 a month. But look at out here at 25 years, folks. This is how much in the median. The median be 7 million in this column. The buying power of 3.404 million, which would be the equivalent of having $12,768 a month coming in based on the 4.5% rule. But that's what we do on this channel. We run all kinds of different numbers. This individual wanted me to run it for him. Your numbers are going to be totally different. But again, if you want me to run numbers for you, just give me these criteria. Notice he just gave me a beginning balance and a monthly contribution. He didn't even increase that. And he asked me how long to run it. In this case, he wanted to know when he could retire. And we saw that if he would hang in there for 25 years, the kind of numbers he could have and the monthly amounts he could have coming in just using the S&P 500. Please consider subscribing to this channel. Please let people know about this channel. Let them know there's a channel out there that will show all kinds of different numbers for people. You can ask for numbers. I can show you different principles, and you'll just be amazed at what the compounding effect can have if you can be in it for long periods of time, like at least 25 to 30. I love it when I catch somebody that has 35 or 40 years. When I catch them when they're in their late 20s or early 30s, then the numbers are simply mind-boggling. But we saw even in this one, the graph for the 25-year, whoop, I'm wrong one here, 25-year graph, we saw right here just what it did. It just took off like that. Inevitably, you're going to see this over the long term if you can be in it for at least 25 years. Thanks for watching.